Hello students, today we are going to learn a lesson from English Standard 6th Autobiography of a Great Indian Bastard. In composition part we have written a lot of biographies on various topics. Now let us learn about autobiography. What is meant by an autobiography? For this we will divide the word in three parts: auto, bio and graphy. Word auto means self, bio means life, and graphy means writing self. So we could interpret as a story. So the word autobiography means the story of my life. Here is the autobiography of a great Indian bastard, and it is written by himself, means by a bastard. So let's listen to his story from his own words. So let's begin with the lesson Autobiography of a Great Indian Bastard. Which is the heaviest flying bird in India? Well, friends, it's me, the Great Indian Bastard. I feel proud to be known as the Great Indian Bastard. I have more than 30 different names in various Indian languages. In Marathi, I am known as Maldok or whom. I can weigh up to 18 kilos and can stand up to 4 feet in height, reaching up to your shoulders or even higher. I have got a long white neck, brown wings, tall yellow legs and a black cap on my head. My wife, Mrs. Bastard, is smaller and slimmer than I am, and her neck is not white. But I have heard humans say that we both look impressive. Here the Great Indian Bastard is asking us a question, which is the heaviest flying bird in India? And tells us, well friends, it's me, the Great Indian Bastard. So it tells us proudly, it is the heaviest flying bird in India. So it's proud to be given the title of Great Indian. No other bird is called it as Great Indian. Further, it says that in different parts of India, it has 30 different names. In Marathi, it is known as Maldok or whom. It weighs 18 kilos and can stand up to 4 feet in height, which is almost equal if human being's shoulder stands straight, equal to his or her shoulders. It further describes that it has a long white neck with brown wings, tall yellow legs, and a black cap. Actually, cap means it's a cap-like appearance, but they are feathers. Then he is comparing himself with his wife, means with a female bastard. Means the writer wants to make us understand that there is a difference between the male and the female bastard. Here the male bastard is differentiating himself with female bastard by introducing his wife. That my wife, female bastard, is smaller and slimmer, means the male bastard is taller than the female bird. Also tells us that her neck is not white, where mine neck is white. But yes, I have heard humans saying that we both look impressive, we both look beautiful. In the next paragraph, I live on grasslands and deserts along with my other friends, including chinkara, blackbird, and larks. I eat everything, including snakes, lizards, small fruits, and berries, and all sorts of insects. That's a very healthy habit. But grasshoppers and beetles are my favorite food items. Here the Great Indian Bastard tells us about his habitat, where they live. They live on grasslands and on deserts along with other animals like chinkara, blackbird and lark. He also tells us his eating habits, that he eats snakes, lizards, small fruits and berries, and also all sorts of insects. But among all these, his favorite food item is grasshoppers and beetles. The next paragraph, When it starts raining, we all gather at our favorite grasslands where there are no people to disturb us. I perform a wonderful dance by gulping air in the special feathery pouch attached below my neck. This pouch helps me to produce a reasoning sound similar to the one produced by the cow. Hmm. I dance in joy with puffed out feathers and cocked up tail and dropped down wings. It helps me to impress my soulmate. So, in this paragraph, the great Indian bustard describes how he reproduces or gives birth to its young ones. The process of mating. In the rainy season, they all gather on grasslands where people don't disturb them, as all the people live in urban areas and grasslands are left barren. So he's telling that they find peace on grasslands where they perform dance by gulping air in the special feathery pouch attached below his neck. Gulps means it swallows in or it inhales air and collects it in his neck. This pouch helps him to make sound which is similar as the sound made by cow, like hmm, by gulping air in its pouch like structure below neck. He also tells us about how they attract their soulmates for mating purposes, that they dance with puffed out feathers, cocked up tail and down wings, so the females busters get attracted towards it. Next, you know that we birds lay eggs and our young ones hatch out of eggs. Mother Great Indian Bustard lays just one egg directly on the ground. We don't believe in building nests, but we have a special trick to protect our eggs from predators. The egg looks like a stone. Monitor lizard, foxes, dogs, pigs, snakes and eagles are enemies of my egg and chick, but my wife protects the egg from all of them. By the time our young ones hatches out of the egg, rain arrives. There is plenty of grass swarming with insects, fresh food for my family. Young ones of the other birds soon fly away from the nest, but the great Indian bustard mother and chick stay together for nearly 1 year. The chick learns many good habits from the mother. In this paragraph, the great Indian bustard tells us that they don't build nest. Mother bird give eggs on the ground directly. Like other birds, eggs do not hatch at once. Means mother bustard lay only one egg at a time, and the egg is protected from the predators by a special trick. The trick is the eggs which laid that eggs look like a stone. So they are ignored by predators like monitor lizard, foxes, dogs, pigs, snakes and eagles. They don't easily recognize eggs, and the young ones hatch out of eggs as the rain arrives. There is plenty of grass swarming with insects, fresh food for his family, and hence the young one is taken care for 1 year, and then only mother bustard leaves the bird. It is not like other birds where mother bird release the young ones soon, but in case of bustard, they take care of the egg at least for 1 year, and then only they release their young ones. Let's move to the next paragraph. You may have heard about a great human friend of ours, Dr. Salim Ali. He had even suggested that we should be given the status of the national bird of our country, but the honor went to our beautiful relative, the peacock. I am happy to tell you that I am the state bird of Rajasthan. We have got 10 centuries for our protection, but sadly, our number is still going down. We used to live in all parts of India, but slowly the growing population of man pushed us away from more than 90% of our home regions. We are afraid of hunters that kill us for fun. We also die due to electric power lines that we can't see while flying. We are losing our homes. Today, only the last 200 of us are left in the world. We need your support and love in order to survive. Can you help us? In this paragraph, the great Indian bustard introduces Dr. Salim Ali. Dr. Salim Ali is an Indian ornithologist. Ornithologist is a person who studies about the bird, and he is also known as Birdman of India. He has done research and surveys over birds, and he was the first one to do so. He is a renowned person, and therefore the bustard is calling him as his friend because he has been knowing and studying for the birds since very long time. Dr. Salim Ali even has suggested that we means great Indian bustards should be given the status of national bird of a country. But as you all know, the honor went to our beautiful relative bird peacock. As we know now, our national bird is peacock. But yet he is very happy that he has been given the status of state bird of Rajasthan. Then further, Great Indian Bustard tells us that his number is decreasing day by day. In order to conserve them, 10 centuries are being built up till now. And he also tells us that we used to live in all parts of India, but the growing population have pushed us away. Means we have lost our homes, regions. Also, we are worried to get killed by hunter for fun. Sometimes we also die because of electric power lines, which we can't see while flying. And as a result, now only 200 of us are left in the world. So, means Great Indian Bustard is asking us for a support. Let's see the last paragraph. You can write letters to your leaders and make an appeal to help us. You can make my drawings and submit it to your teacher. You can discuss this with your parents. Come to see us at Centuries because now you will not see us in any other places. And who knows, if humans don't help us, none of us will be left on the earth. You will only see us in pictures. So here in the last paragraph, Great Indian Bustard suggests us that we can write letters to our leaders and make an appeal to help us. For this, you can make drawings and give it to your teacher, or you can discuss this with your parents. He also tells us that if you wish to see me again, come at Centuries, as you cannot see him at other places, as very few of them are left now. Also can make postures, means through this Great Indian Bustard is appealing that we should help him to conserve his population so that they don't die or extinct like other birds. For this we should build more sanctuaries. I hope student you have understood the information given in the lesson. The total lesson is about the Great Indian Bustard, and it's true that really we should try to conserve these birds.